Hey guys, it's Darcy and welcome back to Darcy Does Stuff. Here on, I'm going to be filming a back to school advice video with you. This is going to include advice for freshman, sophomore, and junior year. I'm currently a senior right now, so obviously I can't give you advice on senior year until I've lived the entirety of it. So once I do, you bet it's coming your way. But for now, I've got this. This will probably be the second to last or the last video for this back to school series, and then we're moving on to bigger and better things because, yeah, we get it, Darcy. We are back in school right now. It's yikes. So that's that. Just a disclaimer, if you hate those, I'm sorry, but I'm not a college counselor. I am not a high school advice person. I'm just giving you my personal experience and what I've experienced from people around me, my friends, my family members, and so on and so forth. That is the viewpoint I'm speaking from today. So take what you want, leave what you don't want, and that's cool with me. Without these tips, you're basically gonna die. Okay, you're not gonna die, obviously. But these are tips that can really help you, and I'd suggest listening to them if I were you. I think these are tips that I wish I knew. Number one, your grades do matter, no matter what anyone says. It is a lot easier to maintain the average that you've set for yourself, maintain your GPA, maintain your class rank, than it is to build it. A lot of people will tell you that you can build up your average, sophomore, junior, senior year. If you blow it off, it doesn't really matter, blah, 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 blah. But sis, it really does. Like, you need to prioritize your academics first before everything else, before partying, before your extracurriculars, before everything, okay? You want to be able to only go up from freshman year. Sophomore year, you want to be able to say, I did good freshman year, but I'm going to keep pushing it. Junior year, you want to be like, I did good sophomore year, but I want to keep pushing it. And then senior year, junior year, you need to do the best that you've ever done. But we'll get to that in a second. But you just need to keep going up every year. And if you started off very, very low, it's going to be harder to climb. But if you already doing the best that you can do, you're only going to go up, okay? So keep that in mind. Number two, time management is everything, whether or not you use a bullet journal, a planner, a calendar digitally, like your phone or your laptop or your iPad or whatnot. But it is important to plan out your day so you know what you're doing. That you know what you're doing every single day, because if you don't, then you'll let time slip away from you and you wonder why it's 12 a.m. and you just started your homework and you're just gonna be like, you wonder where your time went. And there's only 24 hours in a day, so you wanna best utilize them each and every day so you can achieve your goals. But I wish that I prioritized time management sophomore year and freshman year, but mainly sophomore year because it was really a mess. So if you don't want your life to be a mess, manage your time well. Find a system that works for you. 3, learn to delegate. You can't do everything. And a lot of people think they can. You can't, sis. You only have a certain amount of time each and every day where you can do X, Y, and Z. So whether that's with your coaches, your directors, your parents, whatnot, tell them, hey, coach, I got a big test coming up tomorrow. Can I sit out at practice and do my homework, or can I just go home? Or I won't be able to make it to practice, or with your director, I've got this big project coming up. I can't really stay for rehearsals today. I will work so hard tomorrow. Or like I said, with your parents, if you have siblings, this is so good. This is so good for you. Even though siblings are annoying, they're like, it comes in handy. I've got a little sister, and when I can't do things sometimes, she'll pick up the slack and vice versa. So, tag out with your siblings. Try to tell your parents, try to tell them, be like, hey, I really can't wash the dishes tonight, sweep the steps, whatever chores you have to do. If you don't have chores, this doesn't relate to you. You're a cool kid. However, I had chores. I know a lot of you guys have chores, and try to talk to your parents and see what can be done about it and pick up the slack, the next days. 4, the friends that you make in middle school will not be the friends that carry you into high school. A lot of people think that their little clique that they had in middle school or elementary school will come with them into high school, but that's just not how it works. People start switching up, or they become more of who they truly are, whatever you believe, but it just happens. And people sometimes become toxic, they become negative influences in your life, and you gotta let them go. You only want positive energy coming into your life. because, you know, birds of a feather flock together. If you don't want to do the things that they're into now, you gotta drop them. They're becoming problems, they're becoming negative energy, and you only want positive energy in you. If they're no longer contributing to your life, sadly, they gotta go. 5, make friends with upperclassmen. They are so helpful, but the right upperclassmen, okay? If you're the upperclassmen that you know, like if you know that there are some upperclassmen that people say stay away from because, you know, they do all sorts of things that you should be doing in high school or period, you don't go around them. You know, you can make friends with upperclassmen. You can meet upperclassmen through activities like extracurriculars. That's why I recommend joining extracurriculars if you aren't in any right now. So you can not only make friends, but it'll be helpful for college and maybe even facilitate in knowing what you want to do later in the future. Maybe it'll become a career. So it's really important. And these upperclassmen can show you the ropes around high school, you know, tell you what teachers that you shouldn't take, what AP classes aren't the best, how the GPA system works, what they did to get into college eventually if they're seniors or whatnot. And they can also maybe give you notes from last year's classes or whatnot. So I don't advocate cheating on any level at all, period. But, you know, if there are notes that, you know, they might want to slip you so you won't have to do your homework for an extra hour or just 15 minutes, then I take it. That's all I'm saying. You gotta either keep up that momentum that you had freshman year, you know, top that like I said, or you gotta do better. So if you were the freshman that got all A's, they were working hard in their extracurriculars, they're on the pathway to, you know, maybe being an officer between, you know, sophomore year and junior year, then you gotta keep it up, sis. You gotta keep going, okay? You don't want to plateau and you don't want to go down, so you can only go up. Let's keep climbing, And if you didn't do so well freshman year, you gotta step it up. You gotta be like, hey, you gotta look at yourself in the mirror and have a serious conversation with yourself, okay? With yourself, be like, hey, I didn't do the best, you know, freshman year. My grades weren't the hottest. I wasn't as committed to my extracurriculars as I could have been. I didn't really do everything I was supposed to do, whatever that is, whatever that means. And this year, you know, set goals for yourself and actually stick to them. Think about ways that you can achieve that and change around your schedule in order to achieve the goals that you've set for yourself. 2, start applying to scholarships. I know most people will tell you that only juniors and seniors mainly get scholarships, but there are scholarships available for sophomores, okay? Although you especially senior year, you mainly get scholarships, there are scholarships available for sophomores, like raiseme.com. If you go on capex.com, niche.com, unugo.com, or just type in whatever you're interested in, like poetry contest, writing contest for sophomores in high school, whatever you're interested in, or just in general scholarships for sophomores in high school, then I'm sure you'll find something. I found stuff my sophomore year, and you know, you just gotta be consistent. Don't just do it once and then, you know, never do it again. But be consistent. 3, don't overwhelm yourself, okay? Bring the stress down. I know sophomore year, like I said, you gotta go hard, but you gotta go hard smarter. You gotta work smarter, not harder. You gotta do it at the right angle. Do stuff that you want to do each and every day so you can bring the stress down, whatever it is, whether you like to watch Netflix, YouTube, workout, whatever your hobby is that calms you down and gets you in the right headspace to conquer the world. Do that, do a little bit of that, you know, set a timer, be like 30 minutes, I'm going to allow myself to, you know, binge out on YouTube, and then after that, do whatever you need to do for the day. High school is a marathon and not a sprint. You gotta have energy to finish the race. 4, master the art of discipline. That goes into time management. And also, another thing to help with discipline is if you set a timer for different things that you say you're gonna do, okay? So if you're like, I've got 3 hours to do homework tonight, and I've got like homework in every class. So, you know, start where you wanna start, and be like, geometry, I'm gonna start now, I'm gonna do it for 30 minutes, and when those 30 minutes go off, move on to the next subject, and move on to the next subject, move on to the next thing that you've gotta do that day. So by the end of your homework session, you can say that you've at least started on every single thing you need to do that day, and then you can always go back when you're done, and you'll see that you have a lot more time that way, and that you're able to get a lot of things done faster because you are managing your time better. You're exercising discipline. 5, a tip that most people really don't talk about is if you're a sophomore, take it this year or take it over the summer before junior year. No one told me this, and it's so important because mainly the SAT and ACT is Algebra 2. The foundation of the math portion is Algebra 2. Of course there's some geometry, of course there's some Algebra 1, even a little bit of pre-cal, but mainly it's Algebra 2. And see if you can talk to your counselor if you're not in Algebra 2 right now, if you can take it over the summer, or if it's too late and you're already in geometry, it's sealed off, that's it for the year, then try to get online and see what you can do for Algebra 2. Start learning about different things or whatnot. Get a tutor if you're really serious about that or whatnot. Or just junior year, work harder, accelerate your learning in Algebra 2 so you'll be able to take the SAT sooner and understand the concepts that will be on the SAT, if that makes sense. Keep applying for scholarships because there are more options. But this time, buckle down because like I said, there are more options. There are full tuition options this year. There are full ride options even. I'm going to link below one of the scholarships that I'm trying to get my sister to apply for. And if you're a junior right now, I'd highly recommend that you apply for it. It's going to take a lot of work. Don't think this is a raffle one where you just you'll get $1,000 if you tell us your favorite animal. No, this is going to be a work. But if you're really serious about graduating debt-free or relatively debt-free from college in 4 years, then I do this. And I look into more scholarship stuff. I'll have links below. 2, study for the SAT throughout the year. Try to take the SAT 3 times and make a schedule. So what I mean by this is that if you already know Algebra 2 because you took it over the summer or you took it sophomore year, then you're set, sis. You can take it earlier than a lot of other people, but you won't really know Algebra 2 until about the spring of your junior year. So that means that you have to sharpen your reading skills and whatever math that you do know. Until then, you need to be simultaneously doing all the work that you have to do for school and your SAT or ACT or both, that's a lot, at the same time. So you've got to make a schedule, you got to stick to it, you got to be consistent because a lot of people think that they can just, rush through it, they can just take 2-3 weeks, maybe a month or 2 to study for the SAT. No, sis, it's at least 6 months if you want to do very, very well on it. Some people are just gifted like that, they're really good test takers and they don't really have to study all that hard, but not everyone is like that, and I recommend that you just study in advance. 4, manage your extracurriculars well. And look into what you can do more or less of and assess your life. A lot of people don't think about how extracurriculars affects their time and how much time it really takes up. If you're at rehearsals from 3 to 5 or you're at volleyball practice from 3 to 8, sis, that's a whole 5 hours or that's a whole 2 hours or that's a whole 3 hours, however long it is that you spend at your respective extracurricular, that's time, okay? And in that time, you've got to think about, whether or not this is something that you really like to do and you want to keep doing and it's going to reflect well on your college application because it's a part of who you are and it's what you like to do, or this is just useless and you should stop doing this and it took you 2 years to find out, or you just joined the club this year and you're like, I hate this. So, think about it. Or if you haven't been that active in the club you've been involved in, maybe it's volunteering, start volunteering more. Or, start coming to more meetings, or start coming to more rehearsals, or start purchasing more games, whatever it is. 5, this is your most important year, and you need to work hard. Junior year is your last full academic year that the colleges see before they select you to come to their school. You want to be the best that you can be. Not saying you should slack off freshman and sophomore year. You should still do the best that you can possibly do, like I've already previously said. But junior year, you need to go hard. Your academics has to be number 1. And then, SAT and ACT, if not, tied for number 1. But you have to really go hard. You got to give it all, but still, have time for yourself at the same time. If you stay till the end of this video, thank you so much. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like. And if you want to see more videos from me, subscribe down below. If you have any questions or there are any topics that I didn't cover in this video that you want me to cover in another video or just in the comment section below, you just want to ask me, ask me that below. Or request what video you want me to do next. Once again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next Sunday. Bye!